So I don't know why this is making the rounds in the news right now. It's mainly thanks to IGN, but well, I know why it's making its rounds in the news, but we've already known this. I mean, this was, I guess it was a fan rule, but it seemed fairly obvious that characters like Goku and Shrek had no chance of getting into Smash. Sure, the fans demanded enough for Sans to get in the form of a Mii costume, and he got in, but I don't think we'll ever see Goku in Smash, and I think it's kind of obvious why. He's not a video game character. I know some people like to make arguments that Goku's been in a video game before, and sure, there's a lot of great Dragon Ball Z games that can define some people's childhoods. But if you were here in America, you didn't play any of them until Budokai games came out on PS2. So I don't know what you're trying to talk about. But even in Japan, those games, were just kind of okay. Those old Super Nintendo games. So I don't really know why people seem to think, oh, just because there's games based off a license that makes any sense. I mean, that's like, yeah, the Batman Arkham games are really successful, so we put Batman in. Like it doesn't really, there's a lot of great Batman games. Like on the Batman on NES was really good. We should put Batman in. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of really cool, iconic Star Wars games on Super Nintendo, on PS2, even on like the original Xbox with Knights of the Old or not, yeah, Knights of the Old Republic and Jedi Outcast 2, which is coming to Switch soon. Should we put those games on? Should we put those Star Wars characters in? It doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, it's never really made sense. But back in, before a long time ago. I can't remember what month it was exactly, but Sakurai did a column in Famitsu where he talked about how people want Goku and Iron Man, specifically those two. And so in this recent event where he won an award and Smash won a ton of awards, which is really cool. That's really cool. And what's really more exciting is that Iwata said, or Sakurai said that this was Iwata's last task he gave him was to make Smash Ultimate. So he, and that, Sakurai and Iwata do go way back. I know some of you guys might be like, well, of course, because Iwata is the president of Nintendo and Sakurai works for Nintendo. Well, first of all, Sakurai doesn't work for Nintendo, so you're already wrong there. The reality is that Sakurai and Iwata both worked at HAL way back in the day, and they wanted to make games for Nintendo, and eventually, Iwata tasked Sakurai with making an easy game that anyone can enjoy. And so Sakurai decided, okay, and he made Kirby. And Iwata and Sakurai, that was their game. And that was HAL's like big game, and it was Sakurai's first like debut as a fucking badass game director. And as the Kirby series went on, it became more and more incredibly badass. And I mean, I think most people who like Kirby know that Kirby Superstar is one of the coolest Super Nintendo games ever created, flat out. Period. There's just no competition with that. And that's how the relationship started. Iwata actually worked for. He actually was like the president of HAL before he was the president of Nintendo. Then he started working for Nintendo and then worked his way up and up and up. And then Sakurai formed his own studio, being Sora. I think it's called Sora Limited, and that's where Super Smash. I mean, when Iwata just announced Brawl for the Wii, Sakurai had nothing to do with that project, and then he basically said, "Sakurai, do you want to make the next Smash Bros? Yes or no?" And so, I mean, Iwata is a big part. First of all, Iwata really tried to sell Super Smash Bros. To Nintendo. Iwata really made that game happen. So, I mean, you have Sakurai and Iwata both equally to thank for Smash. And even Iwata basically said, we got to make a Smash sequel to Smash Brawl. We got to make Smash 4 on the Wii U. And that's what's going to really, sell the Wii U. And Smash 4 was definitely a huge freaking step up from Brawl, so I think a lot of people were really happy about that. I mean, I remember when it came out, I was just like blown away. And if you guys might be like, yeah, but Ultimate's so much better, and yeah, Ultimate is so much better. That's not the question. But you have to remember that Brawl was just really mediocre. And I mean, just seeing the gameplay comparisons of people like were online putting like the comparisons from the demo for Smash 4 on 3DS, comparing it to Brawl, and like every character like moved faster and hit faster, and I was like, oh my god, the game feels like so cool now and so different now. And now we're on Ultimate, and yeah, that was Iwata's last task, and it's really special that happened. But to get back to the point of other characters and what Sakurai said, Sakurai reiterated that Goku and Iron Man are not going to be in the game. And I mean, it's really funny that he brings up Iron Man. I don't know who's ever requested Iron Man, and I actually wonder if it's the Japanese who are requesting Iron Man. Japanese people love robots, and Iron Man looks like a robot, so maybe they're the ones requesting him. And it's the Americans requesting Goku. But I feel like there's probably some people on both sides requesting both, and it's also possible Sakurai just likes Iron Man and just wanted another example, and so he said Goku and Iron Man because Iron Man's the biggest Marvel star right now, and he basically said no, 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 no characters like that, only video game characters. I don't think the conversation or topic or the debate over if Goku should be in is really that entertaining or interesting. To be completely honest, I just feel like it's already so far out of the question. And I mean, really, once you allow Goku, even if he's the most requested non-video game character, once you allow him, you can't just say he's the only one. I mean, at that point, it's like when they put in Bowser Jr., it was like, okay, they can put in Daisy now. They can put in Piranha Plant now. Because Bowser Jr. is a D-list character. They can put in anyone now. They can put in Shulk now. And, the second they put in a D-list character, it really means, like, okay, you could put in Ridley and K. Rool now. Because these characters really don't need to be popular at all to be in the game anymore. And, of course, K. Rool and Ridley are very popular amongst the fans. That doesn't mean that the common everyday people know exactly who they are. Though I was very happy to see a lot of my casual friends who grew up playing Donkey Kong Country. One of them she only played Donkey Kong Country 64, and she knew who K. Rool was and thought it was really cool he was put in the game. So even though she didn't know any freaking character at all, and she barely knew any of the characters, she was really happy to see King K. Rool, and I agree, that's really cool. It's really cool that some people do know those characters, but to get to my point, anyone can, like, a lot more characters who are lower on the totem pole are allowed in now because of characters like Bowser Jr. I mean, that's why I think we have Daisy too. And honestly, Waluigi is more popular than them. And I think the reason why he's just not playable is because Sakurai just doesn't want to does not want to put Waluigi in as a playable character. He wants some good iconic characters as assist trophies. But the funny thing is now that there's so many assist trophies that if he took out Waluigi, I think we'd still be fine. But maybe that'll be for the next Smash game. But once you open up those floodgates for a TV show character or a manga character or any character that's not from a video game, that's when you open up the floodgates for Batman can be in now, Iron Man can be in now, Darth Vader can be in now. I mean, it's like there's no reason to not include any popular character from any sort of fictional media. And I was coming up with ideas saying like, oh, why don't they put in Batman? Why don't they put in Darth Vader? Oh, why don't they put in Mickey fucking Mouse and SpongeBob SquarePants? And then I realized something when I said Mickey Mouse, that I am someone who argues for Sora a lot. And so what I think is that the actual conversation we should be having, the more interesting conversation, would be, should we have Sora in Smash? If Sora is a character created to be specifically for video games and has not existed before video games and only exists in video games, there's no like show or anything that really includes Sora at all. The best thing we got was in Disney Infinity. They added in a Keyblade and they added in the ability to make Mickey look like his Kingdom Hearts appearance and stuff like that. That's really cool, but even that's just another game. So we never got Kingdom Hearts stuff. Yeah, we never got Kingdom Hearts stuff outside of those games. There's no like, there's mangas and stuff based off Kingdom Hearts, but there's no like movie or show or anything like that. Just like manga, and there's manga based off literally every JRPG. That's just a thing. There's comics based, just like there's comics based off like Left 4 Dead and all like every video game ever made too. Okay, that's just what happens with games, man. You get comics and manga based off of it, and the idea. I think that it does bring up an interesting gray area because a lot of people talk about the fact that if they got Sora involved, then that would mean they have to get Disney involved. And to me, I always think that Disney as a game studio The game studio side of Disney would not care at all. And I mean, really, Sora is in this shitty mobile game. There's shitty merch of Kingdom Hearts. And honestly, in Kingdom Hearts, Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and Goofy, they dress like Hot Topic characters, and there's all this anime weird bullshit. The story makes no sense. It goes all over the place. It's not like, whenever they make a Star Wars game, like The Force Unleashed, for example, they have to run everything by, well, back when it was LucasArts, they had to run everything by George Lucas. And now I think they still have to run everything by Lucasfilms. They have to run everything by the Star Wars people before they can put anything in a game, because they have to represent their property the right way. So when it comes to putting in Sora, I don't think, Disney never really even cares that Square Enix makes their characters do such crazy shit all the time. As long as Hercules acts like Hercules, then they don't seem to care if Sora is doing some crazy anime bullshit right next to him. As long as Hercules is Hercules. So it's not really a question of if Disney is okay with it. I think it's obvious Disney would be okay with it. But the question is, just because Disney has a game studio, does that mean... Because with Goku, it's the rights are owned by Namco Bandai, and, well, for games at least, and only temporarily for right now, but I mean that should be fine. And as long as like Akira Toriyama and Toei Animation all sign off with it, then it should be okay. And then when it Akira Toriyama had to also be okay with Hiro being in Smash. So I mean, it's not like, everyone said okay to that stuff, but the difference is that Akira Toriyama, yes, he's a manga guy, that's what he's known for, but Dragon Quest is a video game, and he made those characters just like he did the art for Chrono Trigger and Blue Dragon for video games. Even though it's the iconic art style from the anime, from the manga world and all that stuff, it was made specifically for video games. So I feel like it's a very interesting gray area that if Sakurai is okay with it, then I don't see the issue. I feel like it could happen because Sora is a video game character, but here's the weird thing. He exists within the Disney brand of things. His default Keyblade has a Mickey Mouse head on the Keyblade. Sora would be the most closest to towing that line of we're basically opening up the floodgates of having Goku because of that Mickey Mouse symbol on his Keyblade. There's no other... Yes, in Mario Kart, there's real cars in the game, but that's Mario Kart. In Smash, there's no outside influence outside of video games at all. Every composer who's done music, those are video game composers. So those aren't just like K-pop artists. Sorry, K-pop. They're not just J-pop artists and J-rock artists that Sakurai happens to like. Those are actual video game music people. Those are people in the video game music world. And that's how it is. Like, everything about Smash is celebrating video games. That's the point. Because that's the field that Sakurai works in, and that's the field Sakurai loves. This isn't like Hideo Kojima, he tries to get real actors, who tries to get real, TV stars and make his games look like movies. Okay? This is Smash. And in Smash, everything's celebrating video games. So Sora would be the first character to be influenced outside of a video game because of the Mickey Mouse symbol on his damn Keyblade. If he didn't have the Mickey Mouse symbol on his Keyblade, then I think it would be fine. But not including the Mickey Mouse symbol on the Keyblade is just not being accurate to Sora and who he is. It's really screwed up because Sora would be such a freaking cool character. But I don't know if it's okay or not okay. That's the question. I don't know if it's just because Sora is, has that symbol, and because he exists in a crossover world with Disney stuff, he's still from a video game. So I actually can't decide if I think it's okay or not okay. And really, I don't think anyone's going to be able to convince me on either side. I could, it's literally whatever Sakurai decides. So Sakurai has not made a statement on Sora, and he kind of can't because, he doesn't want to spoil it. So we'll have to see if he ever talks about putting Sora in Smash. But for right now, I definitely don't think Sora's coming as the fifth character. And if they do another Square Enix character, I'm more so leaning towards Geno. But if they do a main character from a new Square Enix IP, I'm not sure what Square Enix even has that would be worth the time, besides maybe Chrono Trigger or Secret of Mana. But those games are kind of like, there's only like two in the series of each game, though technically Secret of Mana has three games. But the reality is that like there's barely any games in those franchises, and they're not really current. They're not really popular, big anymore. Not that doesn't mean Chrono can't get in. Banjo only had like 5 games, and 3 of them don't even matter. Like the 2 Game Boy Advance games don't matter, and Nuts and Bolts don't matter. The only 2 games that mattered were Banjo Kazooie and Banjo Tooie. That's it. So, I mean, he still got in Smash, So, I don't know. Maybe Banjo's proof that a character like Chrono could even get in. So, we'll see. But to me, I'm not really looking and banking on Chrono. I'm looking more at like something like Geno. I definitely think Sakurai knows people want him, and I definitely think Sakurai wants to make people happy. Though I don't think Geno will be the fifth character. That would be kind of crazy. I think that'd be just too much. But I do think Geno could be coming later down the road. But as far as Sora, I think that I I don't know if we're ready for that. And it really sucks because when you think of all the biggest and iconic gaming icons, Sora really deserves to be in the game. You know, he really does. There's no excuse really to not have him besides Disney stuff. But whether or not, whatever you think about Kingdom Hearts as a game, the games are way too popular and way too beloved. It comes to a point. There's definitely more people who know Sora than know Terry Bogard. There's probably more people who know Sora than Banjo and Kazooie. And there's definitely more people who know Sora than any of those 4 characters from Dragon Quest that make up the hero. So, the reality is that we might as well have just had Sora, but I think the Disney thing screws it up too much. So I'm not really. I'm kind of joining the camp of Sora's out, and that sucks to say, but that's my camp I'm in right now. I don't want to hype people up for Sora, but if he happens, it'll just be amazing and super cool. I don't think he's impossible. I don't think he's 100% off the table. It really does come down to if Sakurai just wants to do that or not. It just depends on how he looks at the game. I'm sure he's played Kingdom Hearts, but I don't know. I don't know, guys. The dream might be dead for Sora, which sucks. But if Sora's not in the game and we get Geno, I literally can't bitch at all. I can't complain. So I'm going to just drop Sora from my ideas, and I think I will make a video on characters who I really want in the game, because this would not be a predictions video, because at this point predicting Smash characters is becoming insanely impossible. I really can't predict any of them that make none of them make. I don't think Doomslayer has a super strong chance over other characters. I really don't think that at all. I think if he gets in, that'd be really cool. But because I know a lot of people want him now, even though I'm really against it. To me, I would just be like, that's a waste of a character slot. I don't even that's how much I don't care about Doomslayer. But there's a lot of people who think they want him in just because it's that iconic. And I mean, sure, whatever. But if I had to pick an M-rated character, I would want Master Chief or Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, or maybe Dante or a Resident Evil character. But so I'm just gonna end this video here because my main point was Sora is a big question mark for me. I really can't say either way. So I'm gonna end this one now. And I'm not trying to come up with an answer with this video. I mainly wanted to bring up the point that this is a way more fascinating discussion that you're not going to see on IGN for whatever fucking reason. So there you go. So Yeah, if anyone, obviously, I don't always get that many comments on videos. And if you do comment, please don't be mean to each other. People are just, I know you read something by a dumb internet person, like, wow, this guy's a dumb fucking motherfucker on the internet. I want to make fun of him. Just don't do that. Don't do that. Everyone's got their own opinions and ideas, and they have reasons for it, and you're wasting your time. So, you ever, it's like, don't feed the trolls. Also, don't feed the stupid people who are not. Just let them be if you disagree with them. But I would like to hear if anyone thinks that Sora does or doesn't have a chance. You know, again, like, this is not, again, like, I just really, I think it's not. It's. I think I'm in the camp that he's probably not going to be a character. But again, I don't think it's impossible. So, whatever you guys think, if someone could make a really cool, compelling argument for me, like, maybe if there was something that proved that a character from something or another, that, a similar situation as Sora. But to me, I think he's in such a unique and situation that I just don't think anyone else can compare to him. But maybe you can come up with an idea for why Sora could work based off some form of evidence. Can't just be because he's massive and iconic. Because characters who are less iconic than Sora are already getting in the game. So, all right, I'm gonna wrap this one up here, a little bit over 20-minute mark, and let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you guys on the next one.